All right, Alabama versus LSU. Dude, I
What? Yeah.
I don't know how this game does not lean for LSU, because if we look at how these two teams are constructed.
Oh, you're letting that one certain gentleman.
No, dude. You look at this
he's
thing
in your ear. He's in your earpiece.
You look at this game on paper, and it makes so much sense why LSU has an advantage.
Freaking Blake
LSU,
Dunham, the puppet master.
Shut up. LSU has the best. Shut the hell up. LSU is one of the best offenses in the country, if not the best offense in the country. Jaden Daniels has been playing at an elite level.
Yep.
It is hard to keep up with that team. There has not been anyone who's been able to stop them. And the only way that they have lost, or the way that games have been close, is because teams have tried to keep up with them. That's how Ole Miss won. Ole Miss just beat them in a shootout. There was no defensive prowess exercised by Ole Miss, who has a better defense than people are willing to consider. For the weaknesses that Alabama has that they're bringing to the table, I understand that they've been better over the past couple of weeks, but I'm going to say this on the FCS show with Montana. When your offensive line is as bad as it is, the floor will fall out eventually. And I think that this is the week that it eventually falls out. And I think for the reason, as we saw against Texas, if they go down by 10 plus points, they very clearly get desperate in their play calling and their play on the field. And this team is not built to protect Jalen Milroe for extended periods of time. It's just not built that way. They're going to get sacks. They're going to get pressures. Jalen Milroe is a great quarterback when everything is flowing. But when everything starts to get tense and tight, he turns the ball over, he takes big hits, and it leads to mistakes. LSU scores way too quick. My only reason why I feel very uncomfortable with being so confident in LSU is because of Nick Saban and because this game is in Tuscaloosa.
That's all you need, right? That's all you need.
But that's
all you need, Joe. All you need is big bad Nick Saban, after losing last year, having LSU boot them from the playoff, and he had to go on the media junket telling people they need to let him in all offseason. Let's write the script, buddy. They were writing it last year. It's Saban. He's still there. Count him out in the offseason. Count him out in the beginning of the season. October was better. The pump is primed. It's ready to go.
But that's all they have in their corner. That's it.
It's all they need. And it's all I would need. Joe, we just have to use some outside, because the offensive line, problematic. Milroe turnovers, crazy. Inconsistent all the time. Running game, can't truly get it established. They don't have a Trent Richardson, Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, any of the dudes that we've seen. Right? They don't. Wide receiving core. They're not wide receiver U or even the top three that they've been competing for with the last 8 years. Mm-hmm. No one's denying that. But when you just look at the optics and the specs of the situation, you have to say, wow, am I gonna think that LSU walks into this stadium led by Brian Kelly and they're gonna outcoach and outperform Nick Saban? They can do one of those two. They can outperform. I don't think they're outcoaching him. I think he has found it. This team, and I think
they've gotten lucky. I think that's the better way to put it.
They are playing at potential. They're not a playoff team, but they're playing at potential, if that makes sense to me. They don't have the usual dudes. They don't have all the time in the world to throw the ball down the field. This is what they are. And they're going to grind them out. Welcome to the meat grinder.
I still stand by what I think makes the most sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
They can't keep up with it's similar to everything I've talked about with Washington. With how quickly and explosively that they can score, they are not built to keep up with them. And I know that the counter argument is, oh, look at all these deep shots they hit with Jermaine Burton. Not all of that is going to be available to you in this game. It's just not. And are you relying on hitting Jermaine Burton over the top on every single drive to score? That's not going to work. LSU is structurally built that there are so many different options outside of Malik Neighbors that they can score quickly. And look, the two teams that they lost to, I said this leading into it, the two teams that they've lost to was Florida State, who has a better receiving room and a more or slightly more explosive offense, maybe arguably. They were able to outscore them, and quickly enough to build a quick enough lead that LSU couldn't climb back into it. And then Ole Miss just beat them because they outdueled them in a shootout. Alabama
Dude,
can't do that.
LSU's defense is bad.
It took you till week 10 to figure that out?
I'm just saying.
They've been better.
We got two sides of a coin for both teams. Alabama's offense is bad. Their defense is good. LSU's offense is great. Their defense is a lot to be desired. 395 yards a game given up. Ew. Gross. 26 and a half points per game. That's gross, dude. They're going to give up some points to Alabama that they shouldn't have. They're going to give up that's why it's going to be close. There's going to be a touchdown, a field goal, a turnover, whatever. There's going to be some mistakes LSU makes that keeps Alabama in the game. And if I'm looking at a one-score game in the fourth quarter, I know what coach I'm taking to lead me to glory. That's Nick Saban.
Bad pick.